Is it record? I didn't hear the normal.
Yep.
She didn't come on and talk to us like she does. So cancel. All right, we're live. Cool. Welcome to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Chris Arnold. Excited that you guys are with us today. Man, we got a story. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tease it out there. We're going to entitle this one Landing the Waco Whale. And so as we get to the end of it, we're going to talk about a six-figure deal. These are always fun to talk about. But here's the subject matter today. We've got Cody Winter coming on today. He's a Texas guy. If you're watching the video, I knew immediately when he came on, he was from Texas because he's got like this oil rig in the background, you know, the one that pumps oil. And I grew up as a kid, actually, you know, what I would do, Cody, is I would get on those, the smaller ones, and I would ride them. I would do that as a kid. That was like so much fun to do.
Right.
Got in a little bit of trouble for doing that, but that's like what you do in Texas for fun. That and cow tipping. That's like our two go-tos for Texans. So
yeah,
absolutely. So super excited to have Cody Winter here today. Of course, we got Tony Javier, the master, the king of TV. And here's what you're gonna get today. Cody's an advanced guy, been in the game for 7 years. We'll get into that on multiple stations already. And I'm just going to tell you, wait till you hear his profit margins after the first 3 months. We're going to be throwing out some bigger numbers today. So excited for you guys to hear about that. So Cody, welcome to the show. Tony, welcome to the show. What's up, fellas? How are you guys?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you again.
As
excited
always.
to be here.
Cool. Thanks, Cody. Well, Cody, background. People are like, all right, who's this Cody Winter, Texas guy? That's all I know about him. But tell us how long you've been in the game, a little bit about your business setup and so forth. Give us a snap.
Yeah, you bet. It's Cody Winters out of Amarillo, Texas is my primary market. Started flipping houses back in 2014. Got serious about it, a year or two later, and been trying to grow this thing ever since.
I love it. And you have an interesting model because most of the deals that you wholesale, you actually wholetail. You're like pretty much like 95% or more. So first of all, let's define wholesaling if somebody's newer. What does it mean to wholesale a deal?
Yeah, you bet. I first of all, I close on just about everything. So I've already closed on the deal. I clean it up. I might paint it, I might not. And then sometimes I'll list it on the MLS. Sometimes I'll just put it on Facebook Marketplace and sell them that way.
Okay. So again, to divide that to wholesale, we would define that as contracting a property, blasting that out to your buyer's list and selling the contract without ever closing on the deal. But what Cody's doing is he's coming in, taking cash, closing on these deals, and then selling them. So that's referred to wholesaling if you're a little bit newer to the game. Here's my question. This is very contrarian to the way most people do it. I do have a couple good buddies around the US that I know run this model. Give us a couple reasons why you decide to primarily wholesale rather than just traditional wholesaling.
Yeah, good question. For me, and in my experience, I've found that number one, when I'm discussing the transaction with the seller, a lot of times they want to sell it fast. And if they need to close in, 3 days, I can accommodate that. But if I'm trying to wholesale it, that's going to be tough to do. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. And so if I promise these sellers that, I'm going to get you closed in 3 days and you're going to have a huge burden off your back, I want to be able to do that. And so that's first and foremost is just being able to deliver to the sellers what I'm telling them I can do.
It allows you to be a promise keeper and it allows you to control speed. And you like that ability to maintain that type of control. I totally get that. What's the second reason?
Absolutely. I've also found, I hate having to, have 10 people show up at a property and go through a seller's property when one of the reasons they sell to investors is so they don't have to have people traipsing through their property and, looking at their family photos, or if it's a house in disarray, they're not embarrassed by that. So, I just think it puts them at ease knowing that you're the only one that's going to be looking at the property and they don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah. So creates convenience, creates a little bit of privacy for the seller. I get that. I hear that all the time. It's funny that sellers use the word traiping. I don't know why. I don't want a bunch of people traiping through my house. So
Right.
that's like the go-to word. But that's how it feels, man. I don't want anyone traiping through my house either, right? I totally get it. Now, you're a seasoned guy. You close a lot of deals. You've been in the game for 7 years. What's been your kind of primary bread and butter that's gotten you to where you're at so far from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah, you bet. For the longest time, probably the first 4 to 5 years, it was 100% direct mail. I was sending anywhere, 20,000, a little more, 20,000 postcards a month. And, it still works for me today. I know a lot of places it doesn't. For me, it still does. And that's really my go-to marketing channel.
Okay, so you're a guy that's doing about 20,000 postcards per month, which that's a good solid amount, and that's kept you busy. But then you're ready to expand. And what you told me was, hey, my overall drive here is I don't want to go wider. I don't want to go to a bunch of other markets. Primarily, I want to go a bit deeper in my area, kind of being Texas itself. It's not like you're going to go do deals out in Cali or something like that. So why TV? Is it primarily the desire to just go deeper, to increase your lead flow? Help us understand why you chose television, because there's a ton of options out there. You could choose any channel.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, probably just the ability to go deeper in a marketing channel that not a lot of other people are tapping. Direct mail, but not everybody, has the wherewithal or the capabilities to market through TV. And I think second of all, just the ability, these homeowners, I feel like a lot of times they're just nervous about who's going to show up at their front door whenever they make the call. And this just, they can put a face with a name and know who's going to show up whenever they make that call. And it puts a lot of them at ease where they, might not have made that call before.
Yeah. So you're seeing that fact that the TV is giving you that celebrity status, that instant credibility. It's funny. I hear that as one of the main drivers for TV and radio. People love the fact that it creates that as well. So I want to break down some numbers here. This is where it starts to be interesting, because we're throwing some big numbers out. You've been advertising on television for how long? How many months?
I've been in Amarillo for a little over 3 months.
Okay. But you didn't stop there. How many more markets have you already picked up? Because you're snowballing this thing, man.
Yeah. So I jumped into Lubbock and also Waco, Killeen, Temple, Bryan, College Station, which is considered one market. It's a giant market, but that's the third market that I'm in.
What made you feel comfortable, or what was the signal that you got that, man, it's okay for me to go ahead and, like, you didn't even double down, you tripled down. You just went from 1 to 2 to 3. You had to see something there that gave you confidence to start pushing the ball that fast down the field. What was it?
Yeah, I just, I knew in my heart and that the TV would be effective. I actually jumped into those other markets before Amarillo had even started. I just felt that, being able for people to see me in their homes on TV was going to be effective. And, I also feel comfortable. Lubbock's, I do quite a few deals in Lubbock, or I have in the past, and I was real comfortable with that market. And I've got quite a few people that know the other markets that I'm in Texas. So, there was a little bit of nerves there going into that many markets at once, but I have no choice but to make it work at that point. So,
Yeah, there's a good quote I love. It says, sometimes it's easier just to go for the home run because everyone else is so busy just trying to hit a double. Right. Like everyone's trying to hit singles and doubles. Sometimes, man, just go for the home run because you're probably the only one that's got the huevos to do it. So I like it, man. You're just swinging for the fences here. Tony, I have a question for you. Student wise, talk to me about people like moving from market to market that fast, coming in and starting one, picking up two. what are you seeing as a trend in your program with people doing multiple markets at this point, not just stopping at one?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on their model. So like, I have many clients in Orange County. If they were to do TV in their market, it would be really expensive because it's the biggest, or maybe it's the second biggest DMA to do TV. So it'd be tens and tens of thousands of dollars. So they virtual wholesale in other markets. So it's not that hard for them to, they've found to plug TV into other markets and figure out how to do deals there. So a lot of our clients start with one market. I think Cody, if he didn't start with two markets, it was very quickly after he bought the first market, he bought his second one and then eventually bought his third one. So people do it differently. Some people start with one market, get it to work, then start another. I've had someone pick up as many as 5 markets and say, I want to buy 5 markets, launch in 2. And then after months, a few months go by, we'll start launching the other markets. But it's a very plug and play model. So if we do commercials in Amarillo, to do it in Lubbock, we just edit the commercial, redo the phone numbers and all of that. And then it's all up to the client to set up their systems there and to find a buyer's list. So like, right now I've got a client in Orange County. She's doing another market. And then she is doing another market not too far from you in Texas there. And her thing was she did start her second market a little bit too fast, because when she started the second market, her phone was blowing up. So you and I, Chris, did a podcast a little bit ago with someone that I'm JVing with. So we have decided that I'm going to use my team and my systems together with her to start JVing in that market. So clients do it differently. They start with one market, expand to others, and some just swing for the fences like Cody and are like, hey man, this is, I can tell this is going to work or is already working. Let's just add some fuel to the fire in some other markets and get it going. And as long as they can get the systems and processes set up, then it's a great way to scale your business.
Yeah, it's a rinse repeat model, and that's what you look for. I mean, what makes something like Froyo places so duplicatable, or Chipotle, is they're just such rinse repeat models. Like, they're not complicated, so you can just go reproduce it 1,000 times. And so I really do like that about television and radio, is you can just take it and just reduplicate it. It's not hard to do. Trying to do that with some of the other marketing channels out there, man, it's a lot more of a heavy lift for sure. So Cody, let's hit some numbers here. This is where this is about to get interesting. So you're running in 3 different markets. What's your total monthly spend right now? How much are you spending?
Total monthly TV spend is a little over 11,000.
Okay, so 11,000 so far. You've been up for 3 months. How many deals have you closed and been paid on? Money in the pocket.
That's been 7 deals with profit of 187,000.
7 deals closed, profit of 187,000 in 3 months. How you feeling about that, man?
I love it. Makes me want to buy more markets.
That's why you have been buying more markets right there. I'm looking at myself and I'm going, that's an easy decision, because now we're just over to the numerical math side of the fact of the type of return that you're getting so far. So you're looking strong. Now, on top of that, you have another 5 in the pipeline. And again, I always like to be conservative, right? So I always never want to overestimate. But those 5 deals, what's the pending profit on those 5 deals conservatively? What would you say?
Yeah, those contracts should average 20,000 each. So that's, another 100,000 in the pipeline with those contracts.
So 187,000 closed within the first 3 months, another 100,000 in the pipeline on top of that. Man, those are really, really good numbers. Now, at the top of the hour, I mentioned that I was going to entitle this, right, the Waco Well. I want to transition to this story that Cody's going to tell us about the Waco market. I think in the story, you're going to learn a few things. You're going to learn a little bit about patience, because the question sometimes is, it is better to persevere versus pivot, right? You're also going to learn about the fact of sometimes, man, the greatest part of this game is when you get that big pop. So let's talk about the Waco well and the whole story of you picking up the Waco Market, kind of calling Tony. So everybody likes a great story. So break the story down for us. What happened?
Yeah, you bet. So I started Amarillo and Lubbock earlier. And so once those commercials and these two markets came on, I mean, I was getting phone calls, and I think I had contracts within the first couple of weeks. And then, I mean, it's a great volume that TV was generating in those markets. Waco took a little bit longer. I didn't have the initial pop down there that I did with Amarillo and Lubbock. And, after a couple of months, I was starting to get concerned. I had gotten a couple of contracts. They had fallen out with title issues. And, I didn't have anything in the pipeline down there. And I was just starting to wonder, maybe let's look and move it to another location to see if we can't generate the same type of results here or what. And actually, I emailed Tony saying, hey, it's just not working down here. Let's look at another market.
So Tony got the email. I've gotten a few of those. Like, it's not popping as fast as my other ones are. Like, what's going on? Should I stay in? Should I get out? Yeah. Know those calls. So, all right.
And I'm not the most patient guy either, but
none of us are. We're entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I was comparing it directly to my other two markets. But then I think, this is crazy timing, but maybe a couple of days after I spoke to Tony, I got a call from Temple, which is just south of Waco. And it was a little old lady. She saw my commercial. She wanted to sell her house and wanted to speak to me. And, rather than trying to do it the virtual way, I just hopped on Southwest, flew down there Monday and met with her. Was able to get the contract. She said, she gets 1 million postcards in the mail a month, but she saw me on TV and, she trusted me. That TV, the commercial.
So she literally told you that. I've gotten postcards in the mail, but I saw you, Cody, on TV and I trusted you.
Exactly.
That's powerful. Exactly. That's the power of mass media right there. All right. So keep going. What happens next?
So I got the contract locked up, talked to a couple other, I knew it was a good deal right away, but then talking to some other people about dispoing it, we're looking at potentially a $100,000 deal.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So Waco all of a sudden now was slow out of the gate. But it came in and it dropped a bomb on you. And now you got a deal under contract that you've got a prospective $100,000 on as well. So
absolutely.
Let me ask you this. What did you learn from that? People were listening, but you specifically, Cody, like what was maybe 1 or 2 takeaways from that whole situation?
Yeah, I think the key for me is to be patient. A lot of times people need to see, it's like with direct mail, they need to see that you're going to be consistent and that you're, not a flash in the pan. And I think the commercials just sometimes they've got to catch the people at the right time and they've got to see that you're in it for the long haul. And I think just being patient, it works. So it's not like there's that much difference in the markets. And so for me, it was just, hey, let the system do its job and I need to do my job. And things will work out.
Absolutely. I totally agree. One thing I've learned working with as many investors as I have is, we laugh about being impatient, but what it does is it creates bouncers. They try this out for a little bit, doesn't work as fast as they want or get the results they want. And then they bounce to this marketing channel and then they bounce to this marketing channel. And those are the people I talk to that complain about the fact that, well, cold calling doesn't work and direct mail doesn't work, right? And this doesn't work. And I'm like, the issue is not the marketing channels. The issue is the fact that you're not persevering and writing it out because sometimes things take a little bit longer. There's a principle, Cody, that we live by. Again, I write out all my principles, but I call it the 2-2-2 principle. Everything that you set out to do will probably take you 2 times longer, cost you twice as much, and be twice as hard as you perceived it ever to be. And that tends to be the case most of the time. But I did read in a book, the good thing about entrepreneurs not thinking that is that what's actually gets us to go out and take a risk. Because if we really knew how much time it was going to take and cost us, we'd never do it in the first place. So there's the psychology of the piece that works in our favor as well. So I love it. So fantastic. So, man, if you're listening, this is a great story. Cody, man, I'm super proud of you. You've come in, you've done really well with direct mail. Again, you're a consistent guy. I sense consistency. You did the direct mail thing for 4 or 5 years, still doing it, worked it, mastered it. Now you've moved on to this thing, and I know you're going to stick with it, master it. And this is why you're going to continue to blow up and be a very, very large and successful, I was going to say wholesaler, but wholesaler, actually.
I appreciate it,
which
Chris.
is super
Thanks.
cool. So, man, phenomenal numbers. Well done. Tony, if people are listening, like, dude, I'm all over this. I want to see some numbers like that. Where do they start? How do they begin to learn more about your program?
Yeah, we've got a really simple and easy way to apply and see if your market's available. It's realestatemasterstv.com/Chris. Again, realestatemasterstv.com/Chris. Just go there and apply. It's really quick and easy. Book a call with me, just like Cody did about 4 months ago. And we'll see if your market's available, see if you're a good fit for the program. If so, we can get you launched on TV within about 30 to 45 days and get you rocking and rolling.
Man, it's that simple. So definitely check it out, and would love for you guys to, again, Tony and I are such believers in mass media. So television, radio, it's just been completely overlooked. So I think you guys know our perspective. Again, all marketing channels work. But if you desire to do something that's low maintenance, gives you a high quality lead, gives you instant credibility, celebrity status, the list goes on, man, you got to take a look at doing mass media for sure. So Cody, thanks so much for coming on, man. Just sharing your success. Truly an inspirational podcast. I know a lot of people are getting off of this podcast. They're fired up. And Tony, thank you so much as well for creating such a great program for everybody to see such great success. And to you as an audience, as always, thank you guys for joining us. And we will catch you soon when we add more value. Talk to you later.